back everyone for some more Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, and we are continuing on in the trial in the case against Sasha Buckler. Yesterday we got to listen to Dr. Herman Crab, and we established that he wasn't the one that was trying to off Orla with the sleeping pills, but we also heard testimony from Marlon Rhymes, which he's trying to pin all this back to the Orca, which we're trying to prove that that she couldn't have possibly done so. We're trying to prove both Orla's and Sasha's innocence right now, so hopefully we can do that here in this episode. If not this episode, definitely later on. But before we continue on, hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys doing well. But anyway, we're going to present evidence right now that the place of the murder was something other than the worker pool room. Where was the real scene of the murder? Well, it happens to be right here at the show pool.
Take that!
The show stage pool might have been drained of water at some point as well. And if so, it would be just as possible to follow one's death there as the worker pool. Right, Dono? What you're doing is a disgrace to your profession. I sincerely hope you have some basis for your suggestion. Of course I do. I will, as soon as I think of something. The victim's body was found in the orca pool. How do you explain that?
Objection!
How about if, after the victim was killed in the show stage pool, his body was moved to the orca pool? How about if? What kind of presentation of your argument is that? You had better have a reasonable explanation of how the body was moved. There's no turning back now. I have to think of a way the body could have been moved. Was there something I've seen that could have been used to move the body? Let's go ahead and save, why not? Oh, I think there was by means of this.
Take that!
The hoist runs between the orca pool room and the show stage. The stretcher can be hung from the hoist to move things like Orla or the Skull Rock. The stretcher could have also been used to move the dead body. Yes, if the stretcher can move the orca or the Skull Rock, it seems likely it could also move the dead body as well. Wow, somehow that worked. I just might be able to pull this off. If the show pool was the scene of the crime, somebody else could have done it.
Objection!
You desperately spew conjecture and now you even make up a crime scene? Not again. You don't have the soul of a warrior. You don't deserve to be on the battlefield. And even your fabrication is half-baked. It's a disgrace. What do you mean half-baked? The hoist can be operated from the orca pool room only. Gah! And the only person who entered the orca pool room was the defendant. So even if the body was moved, the only one who could have moved it was the defendant herself. Order. So it comes back to the defendant no matter which pool it was. Meaning, I can't clear Sasha either way. Sasha said she moved Orla in the Skull Rock, and I believe her. So could it be possible that she moved the body herself without being aware of it? Mr. Wright, do you have an objection to Prosecutor Blackhole's claim? Do I have an objection to claim that the defendant moved the body? Actually, no, I don't, and I'll tell you why. I have no objections. Miss Buckler must have been the one who moved the body. What? Mr. Wright, are you admitting the defendant committed the murder? No, I'm simply conceding that she was the only one who could have moved the body. However, I contend Miss Buckler was not aware that it was what she was doing. The culprit made her move it unbeknownst to her. The defendant moved the dead body without recognizing it was a dead body? How could that be possible? The body was found in the worker pool. It must have been moved there somehow. I might find some kind of hint in the things she moved with a stretcher. The culprit made Miss Buckler move the body along with this piece of evidence. By means of this.
Take that!
The Skull Rock. Miss Buckler told me yesterday that she moved the Skull Rock when she was cleaning. The only two things Miss Buckler moved to the worker pool are Orla and the Skull Rock. I would like to suggest that the victim's body may have been inside the Skull Rock. But what? Hidden inside the rock, the body could have been moved to the worker pool with the hoist. At the show stage, Marlon Rhymes loaded up the Skull Rock with the body inside, and then he used the walkie-talkie to let Miss Buckler know the rock was loaded. Miss Buckler operated the hoist from the worker pool room and moved the stretcher. She moved the rock without knowing the body was inside. Do you really think there's enough space inside the Skull Rock to place a body? The swashbuckler flyer indicates it could be possible. Please focus on the question at the bottom left. Who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the Skull Rock? Oh, it says who will obtain the coin locks hidden in the gold coins hidden in the Skull Rock. In that case, I suppose the rock is most likely hollow. What's more, if the body was inside the Skull Rock, it explains the remaining unanswered questions. Such as, please take a look at the security footage of the scene Mr. Plume witnessed. Where did the body that Mr. Plume saw come from? Please recall, what was Orla doing to the Skull Rock at this time? She was headbutting it. Oh! That's right. Orla's ramming released the body from the Skull Rock. The body had been placed inside the Skull Rock and moved from the show stage. Hey there, Frog. I assert that the real murder scene was, in fact, a show stage pole.
Silence!
What rubbish is this now? You don't have a single scrap of evidence.
Objection!
It's easy enough to verify what I say. Take a look inside the Skull Rock for yourself. You should find some kind of proof that the body was there. Blood, fibers, hair. Right, Dono? Mr. Wright, that was incredible. You turned things completely around. And to think it all started with that half-baked bluff, too. Whew, that was a close one. Did you really have to add that last bit? If the murder took place at the show stage, then who is the perpetrator? It is, naturally, the person who was at the show stage. Mr. Rhymes, weren't you the one who loaded the Skull Rock onto the stretcher at the show stage? Wow, Mr. A. There was some pretty smart brain work you did there. To be honest, I never thought you could figure it out. I tried to protect myself, but I guess it came back to bite me. Are you confessing you gave false testimony before, Mr. Rhymes? That's perjury. Yeah, what Mr. Wright says is true. The body was inside the Skull Rock, and it's true the captain was killed in the show pool, too. What? He's admitting it that easily? This time, I'm gonna tell you the whole truth about what happened that day. The whole truth. In the show pool, the orca shot the captain up into the air. Then the captain came down and slammed into the water. I can still remember the spectator's screams clearly. All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the orca. When Mr. Plume witnessed the orca finding the body, I freaked. So now we're back to the orca again, I see. If you were going to give testimony like that, why did I bother putting you on the stand? All I'm doing is telling the truth. That day, Sasha wanted to do the old version of Swashbuckler Spectacular, so I suggested she hide the body in the Skull Rock and move it to the worker pool. I was gonna figure out what to do with the body after the show was over. The worker is the one that killed the captain. It wasn't me, and it wasn't Sasha. So it was Mr. Rhymes' idea to hide the body in the Skull Rock? But if Mr. Rhymes is the culprit, why would he protect Sasha? False charges against Sasha would mean he himself would escape suspicion. So why? Mr. Wright, how about if you leave this to me? Athena, do you mean you heard something? Yup, noise. Discord in Rhymes' heart. You know that means we're gonna end up having to do some Mood Matrix time. You know how I feel about that. I'm looking forward to this. So that means somewhere in this testimony there's an inconsistencies in emotions? Alright, Athena, give him a good counseling session. You got it, boss. Huh? What's this? What are you getting, Athena? This testimony is pretty complex. Feelings of deep sadness and intense anger are being called up. Those two emotions appear to be running out of control. Out of control emotions? Is that going to be a problem? We'll have to probe their cause if we want to get to his true emotions in testimony. There might even be odd or unnatural spots in his testimony he isn't even aware of. Alright, let's probe for the cause of his out of control emotions then. I'll explain how to probe. Let's find the root cause together. When you see something off in a statement, press probe with the L button. Next, point to what's causing Mr. Rhymes' out of control emotions. Finally, press probe with the X button to complete the process. When emotions are out of control, memories can be recalled incorrectly. If you still haven't found anything after all the statements and images, I'll help. Great! Alright, I'll get started comparing the statements with the images. In the show pool, the orca shot the captain up into the air. Then the captain came down and slammed into the water. I can still remember the spectator's screams clearly. Okay, let's probe the spectators.
Got it.
I doubt there were any spectators there at the show stage when the owner died. If there had been, those witnesses would have told us the true crime scene right away. What? Oh, right. Of course. I just made a mistake. Okay, that brought it down to 60. Okay, that made the sadness subside. So maybe the spectator's part was what was making him sad? I wonder why he would make that mistake, saying spectators were there. How strange. The only thing I can think of is that he was mixing up one memory with another. Like, he was in a similar situation before and it was deeply imprinted on his heart. A situation where an orca killed somebody and there were spectators there? Hey, I think I know why he's mixing up his memories. The reason why Mr. Rhymes mixed up his memories is because of this. The killer well.
Take that!
Mr. Rhymes, I think I know what happened. Could you have been mixing up what happened a year ago with this incident? Maybe that's why you slipped and said the owner was killed in front of spectators? What? How did you... You're right. I did see the worker kill somebody a year ago. But what about it? I was just one of the spectators. Really? Just another spectator? There must be a reason why you feel great sadness about that incident last year.
Silence.
Stop this nonsensical scrutiny of feelings. Just present evidence to prove your point. Eat. But boss, do we have any kind of evidence that would back us up here? There is one piece that comes to mind that might explain his sadness. Well, I'm waiting. Let's see this evidence that has to do with Merlin Rhymes' sadness. It happens to be the very thing Dr. Crab gave us yesterday, and that was the charm.
Take that!
Azura Summers died an accidental death 1 year ago. This is her boyfriend's charm. But hey! What are you doing with that charm? It was found in Rifle's stomach yesterday. Judging by your reaction, I believe this charm belongs to you. Guess I need to push him just a little harder to make him admit it. When Mr. Rhymes said the word charm, he was very rattled. We'd better examine this charm a little more. Good idea. Let's look inside it. Huh? What's this? A photograph? Hey, this is... Azura Summers and Merlin Rhymes. Mr. Rhymes, you and Azura Summers were a couple, weren't you? So what if we were a couple? It doesn't have anything to do with the captain's case. You believe you saw the orca kill your girlfriend. That's the cause of your sadness. Isn't that emotion of yours connected to the current case?
Silence.
The only thing you revealed was the witness's connection to the victim of last year's incident. What does this witness's past have to do with the case at hand? I don't know yet. But we managed to pinpoint the source of his sadness. Now let's delve into who Mr. Rhymes is angry at. Okay, in the show pool, the orca shot the captain up into the air. Now, you can either do this on the first or the fifth statement, but we are going to go ahead and do it now. We are going to go ahead and probe Orla.
Got it.
Mr. Rhymes, you're angry with Orla, aren't you? Angry? At an orca? Why would I be? If you think I have some reason to be mad, then show me some proof. Do I have proof that Miss Rhymes has reason to be mad? Yeah, I got your proof. I bet that evidence we just took a look at would come in handy here. This charm indicates that you were Azura Summers' boyfriend. I'm sure you believe Orla killed your girlfriend a year ago. You lost your girlfriend and so you've been angry at Orla. Alright, I'll admit it. I'll never forgive that orca. Azura is dead, and that orca is still swimming around happy as a clam. I became an animal keeper just so I could prove that orca is a killer. You're right, I want that orca to pay. There, do you feel good dragging up a person's past? But it still doesn't change anything. Okay, that's brought it down to 30. He's right. I disagree. It does change things. His out-of-control emotion quieted down. Now we should be able to find out the truth behind that emotion. Okay. Show pool. The orca shot the captain up into the air. The captain came down and slammed into the water. I still remember the captain's dead body clearly. All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the orca. When Mr. Plume witnessed the orca finding the body, I freaked. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pinpoint. We are gonna be pinpointing surprise.
Got it.
When Mr. Plume witnessed the orca finding the body, you freaked? Really? What are you getting at? With Mr. Plume as a witness, Orla was guaranteed to be accused of the murder. Didn't it work out exactly as you'd hoped? In order to have Orla put down, you made sure Mr. Plume witnessed that scene. So you figured all that out, did you? But Mr. Rhymes, are you admitting it? I didn't really want to have to fight anybody but the orca. But you leave me no choice. What the heck? Gah! Now it's time to get serious. Ahoy! What? Yo, ho, ho! Ahoy, me meat brothers represent. Avast ye grass eaters, stay free. Take me words and pop them in your mouth. Scurvy grass eaters, muted in mouth. Yo, ho, ho! Well, I'm ready for the showdown. Okay, I'm not doing that voice the whole time. What is going on? Where did this pirate fellow come from? He looks like a completely different person. Well, order. If we don't have order, Prosecutor Blackwell will yell at us. Even Prosecutor Blackwell is at a loss for words. So I plan to have that wench be a witness. Arr, you caught me out. It be true I thought that Orca's murderous ways should be found out. That be why I schemed to have the Plume see the body. So you admit it. You deliberately framed Orla? It be true, but what skin be that off of anybody's nose? That orca be a murdering scurvy dog. I may have a grudge against that orca, but I always felt grateful towards Captain. That orca murdered Azura and the Captain, so of course she would walk the plank. God, I don't have a response to that. I agree it wouldn't make sense for him to kill the owner. Why would he? But his hatred for Orla, on the other hand, comes through loud and clear. Wait a minute. If killing Mr. Shipley doesn't make sense, who would it make sense for Rhymes to kill? Maybe my theory has been all wrong. Your Honor, I think I just became aware of a new fact. Oh? And what is that? Now that we know about Mr. Rhymes' intense hatred of Orla, it turns the premise we've been arguing under on its ear. I will now reveal the identity of the individual Mr. Rhymes meant to kill from the start, and that was Orla herself.
Take that!
What? So the witness's intent was to kill the Orca? Exactly. The witness's intended victim was not Jack Shipley. From the start, it was all a scheme to kill Orla. The Orca was his true target, but Jack Shipley is the one who died. The Orca is alive and quite well. He's right. He wanted to kill the Orca, and yet it was Jack Shipley who fell to his death. How did that happen? Wait a minute. What if? What if Mr. Rhymes wanting to kill Orla was somehow connected to Mr. Shipley's death? At a loss for words, are you? What happened to your bravado of a moment ago? Enough of these reckless words without any basis in fact.
Objection!
They aren't reckless words. The basis for my claim is at the real murder scene, the show pool. What are you talking about? It's my contention that the two incidents happened at the show pool. The attempted murder of the Orca and the victim falling to his death. First of all, in order to kill the Orca, Mr. Rhymes removed something from the scene. And by doing so, he made it possible for Mr. Shipley to fall to his death. He did what now? Mr. Wright, what did Mr. Rhymes remove in an attempt to kill Orla? Well, it was the water.
Take that!
Don't tell me you're trying to claim he tried to kill the Orca by draining the pool water. That's exactly what I'm claiming. To help the defendant with the cleaning, Marlon Rhymes took charge of Orla, with the plan to kill Orla in the show pool. And because the pool water was drained, it made it possible for Jack Shipley to fall to his death in the show pool. I tried to kill the Orca, you say? Can you even prove that there was a nary a drop of water in the pool? That day, I was simply looking after the Orca. Why would I have the monster start killing it?
Objection!
You claim you were looking after Orla in the early morning hours of July 20th, but I don't think you were doing a very good job of it. After all, Orla wasn't given anything to eat during that time. How would you know such a thing? I know because of Orla's record here in the torpedo data system. This system continuously records data on the subjects it monitors. From Orla's record, we can tell exactly when she ate or didn't eat. Sink me, nobody ever told me about that dastardly contraption. Only a few of the ship-shape aquarium staff know about this system. According to Orla's records, she never ate in those early morning hours of the 20th. You planned to kill Orla, and that's why you didn't feed her.
Silence!
You're wasting time. What proof do you have of that? Perhaps the Orca simply wasn't hungry? Ah, he's right. I don't have any proof. If Orla simply didn't eat, then that would create an inconsistency. Where did her fish go? Her fish? Good question. Where did it disappear to? Fish? What does it matter? What relevance does it have to the case? Cease this stalling with inconsequential questions. Stop delving into the depths of the Orca's stomach and delve into the case instead.
Objection!
But wait, it may seem like a small inconsistency, but it's an issue of great importance, I think. What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? How could the fish disappear? Somebody must have eaten it. So who came to the show stage and ate Orla's fish? I think I might have a pretty good idea. I believe there must have been a visitor to the show stage that Mr. Rhymes didn't notice. Visitor? Are you trying to introduce yet another suspect at this 11th hour? If you utter more of your careless remarks, Taka won't look favorably upon it. I don't plan to utter any careless remarks. Whether remarks will actually be related to the case or not, I don't yet know. Don't worry, boss. If Taka comes this way, I'll fend him off. But do try to keep your remarks careful. Somehow, Orla's fish disappeared. Somebody must have visited the show stage. But who? This was the visitor to the show stage. Well, it was Rifle. I believe Rifle the Penguin visited the show stage. First an orca, now a penguin? Why would you be saying such a thing, Mr. Lawyer? I didn't see Rifle during the wee early morning hours. Do you have any proof Rifle visited the show stage? If you be a lawyer of any sort, show me your evidence. The bottom of Rifle's feet were pink for some reason. That fact is a clue that Rifle was indeed at the show stage. I have to present that piece of evidence that connects Rifle to the show stage. Now, to prove I'm a lawyer worth my salt. This is the proof that Rifle visited the show stage. And it happens to be this sign.
Take that!
Oh my, what a cute little sign. Look at all those adorable stars. These stars are actually starfish. Miss Buckler painted this sign. In early morning hours of the 20th, she left this sign at the show stage to dry. Mr. Rhymes kept an eye on the sign for Miss Buckler while the paint was drying. Aye, that be true, but what be your point? On this sign is proof that Rifle visited the show stage. Proof of the penguin's visit? I'm afraid I don't see it. Where is the proof that the penguin visited the show stage? Please point it out. And I believe Phoenix did make a comment like this during the investigation, and he said that some of these I forget exactly what he said that they looked like, but we're going to present this. A couple of the pink starfish are shaped a little differently from the others. Oh, you're right. They look almost like little leaves. That's what it was. That's what Phoenix said they looked like too. Rifle had pink paint on the bottom of her feet. These little leaf-like shapes on this sign are actually Rifle's footprints. Rifle made these footprints by walking on the sign before it was dry. Oh, what cute little pink penguin prints. So there are footprints. What of them? Marlon Rhymes was watching over the sign at the show stage while the paint dried. And during that time, the penguin paid a visit. According to the torpedo data system, we know that Rifle ate something that morning of the 20th. Most likely, Rifle ate the fish meant for Orla that was at the show stage. Orla's snack was a small quantity of fish. Even a penguin could have eaten it all. Begad! Rifle ate Orla's fish? Who be ye to say Rifle ate Orla's fish? She could have picked up food anywhere. But that doesn't change the fact that I really was at the show stage. After all, I had to help move the Skull Rock. It couldn't have been moved without me. The witness claims he never saw the penguin. How do you explain this contradiction? Both Mr. Rhymes and Rifle were at the show stage, but Mr. Rhymes didn't see her. So where could Mr. Rhymes have been at the time? Right, Dono? If you aren't up to the task, I could disprove this witness's testimony for you. If I leave it to Prosecutor Blackwell, Sasha will be declared guilty. I can't let him interrupt this line of reasoning. Mr. Wright, let's try to figure out how things looked when Rifle came to the show stage. Mr. Rhymes was at the show stage keeping an eye on Orla and the sign. And we know it must be true because he helped move the Skull Rock. And then Rifle came in and walked over the sign. But wouldn't Mr. Rhymes notice Rifle if he was right there? Well, let's think about where Mr. Rhymes could have been. Is there a place in the show stage area for which Rifle couldn't have been seen? Let's go ahead and save. Well, there is actually one place. And we are going to present the water again.
Take that!
What? Inside the pool? But, you're right. If he was inside the pool, he wouldn't have noticed the Rifle. So are you saying Mr. Rhymes was underwater the whole time Rifle was eating? No, not underwater. When I think about what he was trying to do, the answer is clear. Now I'm finally starting to get the whole picture. Just like yesterday. Must you two always be whispering to each other? Why don't you admit that resorting to the penguin will get you nowhere?
Objection!
Oh, I don't know about that. The fact that Mr. Rhymes didn't notice Rifle was such a small inconsistency. But it's a key point that proves what Mr. Rhymes was trying to do. The penguin is a key point? The show stage pool is very deep. If Rifle came to visit while Mr. Rhymes was at the bottom of this pool, he would have never noticed Rifle. Workers can be out of the water for a short time without sustaining damage. But if they're out of the water for a long time, they weaken and eventually die. In order to kill Orla, Mr. Rhymes had to drain the pool. And while the pool was drained of water, Mr. Shipley fell to his death. The show stage pool is about 65 feet deep, just like the worker pool. Without water in the pool, a person could be made to fall 65 feet. Mr. Rhymes probably wondered what to do. If he continued with his plan to kill Orla, how would he dispose of Mr. Shipley's body? So he devised a plan to kill two birds with one stone. What? How? Mr. Rhymes went down to the bottom of the pool and put the victim's body in the rock. He then had Miss Buckler move the rock and the body together.
Silence.
And the witness made the defendant do this somehow without arousing her suspicion? That's right. Mr. Shipley told Miss Buckler that she couldn't perform in the new show. Miss Buckler became upset and wanted to switch back to the old version of the show. So Mr. Rhymes conveniently suggested that she take and hide a prop for the new show. Mr. Rhymes then manipulated Orla using her singing and lifesaver tricks. He schemed to have Orla find the body while Mr. Plume would be standing witness. He saddled Orla with a false charge of murder so that Orla would be put down. What? Oh, God. So the fact that the witness didn't see the penguin shows that when Maple visited the show stage, Rhymes put the body in the rock. At the bottom of the pool, that is. Who would have thought the presence of a penguin could prove the witness's absence? It's working. Just a little further now and Sasha will be proven not guilty.
Silence.
If you think you've won this battle, you're sorely mistaken. Your theory is based on the notion that the witness could manipulate the worker. Witness, can you control the worker's actions? Of course not. What kind of bilge be that? I be but a simple animal keeper. If my memory serves, wasn't Miss Buckler the only one who could issue commands to the worker? The judge's blade is sharper than the lawyer's. If you wish to do battle with a witness, you'll need a honed blade. Where is your sort of evidence that Merlin Rhymes could manipulate the worker? Ah. Rhymes had to manipulate Orla in order for his plan to work. But how can I prove it? Well, it appears this line of reasoning has become unsustainable.
Objection!
Well, it appears that I was mistaken. Athena? I've analyzed the hearts of all kinds of people. I have enough experience to see when I look into your heart that you haven't given up. So that objection was my way of speaking up for your heart. She's right. Why would I become a lawyer again only to give up? I have to keep fighting. Athena, thank you. With your help, I remembered the old right way. The right way? Your Honor, I'm not finished with presenting my argument. Do you have anything else to ask this witness? You've cross-examined all the witnesses and presented all your evidence.
Objection!
All the witnesses? I don't think so. I haven't cross-examined the most important one, the central figure in both cases. The central figure? The one involved in not only the case a year ago, but this current case too. I've never called her as a witness, but it's time to do so now. Who are you talking about? I demand you tell the court immediately. Who is this central figure in both cases? Well, it's Orla.
Take that!
Defense calls the central figure in both cases Orla the Orca. You intend to cross-examine the Orca? Cross-examine an Orca? You must be addled. It'd be impossible, says I.
Silence.
This absurdity is beyond the pale. How do you expect to question an Orca, a creature incapable of speech?
Objection!
Orla is intricately involved in this case. I have every right to cross-examine her. Besides, even if she can't speak, I think cross-examine her will be invaluable. Very well. Do what you will then. But if you fail to garner anything from this little exercise with the Orca, I hope you realize the reward for your efforts will be the defendant's guilty verdict. I'm ready and confident. So, cross-examining Orla, huh? That was a bold move, boss. Now all we have to do is figure out how Mr. Rhymes manipulated Orca. Orla, rather. That's right, now it's Orla's turn to help us save Sasha. An Orca defendant yesterday, an Orca witness today. This is truly unprecedented. But even though this is highly unusual, I'm prepared to allow it. Bailiff, ready to witness telecast. We'll have a 10-minute recess while the telecast is being set up. And with that, we are going to go ahead and stop here. Next time I see you guys, yes, we are going to cross-examine Orla, who happens to be an Orca, so... But hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far, and I'll be seeing you guys again next time.